But that there is one who has a word beyond that. A word of new life. There at the cross, the powers of the empire are shown for what they are. Futile. The economy of the temple is shown for what it is. Broken. Those in power are shown for the struggles, the foibles that they hold, that they have. So the question is, now nearly 2,000 years later, what does that mean for us? To look to an instrument of torture, a place of loss, and to see beyond that a word that transforms us. This last week I was at a meeting that was called Occupy Faith, coming out of the Occupy movement on Wall Street and in Minnesota. Fascinating conversation. And in some ways I told a couple of folks that I've never realized how conservative I can feel. But in that space, it was fascinating to talk about the brokenness of our institutions. The challenges of our government that are being run by corporate money. If any of you read the paper yesterday or today, to see the amount of money being funneled into campaigns. And to think, those people aren't representing us. Our government has been totally put askew by corporations being able to buy power and control. Or to look at the way that banks are really beating down on people who struggled in the first place to make their mortgage payments, and that they won't renew loans at a lower interest rate, while they make millions and millions and billions upon billions in profit. So we are asked to say, at this place of complete brokenness and utter despair, how institutionally are we being called to see cosmic healing and transformation? And then in our own lives, when relationships in community break down. We talk about bullying oftentimes with kids, but what about with adults? Where we don't necessarily get along, or we knock another person down to get ahead, or perhaps we ourselves are knocked down. And it can happen at church, it can happen in our work experience, it can happen in our home life, or in family dynamics. And then we're invited to think about, what does this instrument of complete and utter despair mean for us? When we feel weighed down or broken, how does it reclaim us? And how does Jesus set us again on a path that is about life and promise and healing? For me, this is where we have to be grounded today. In this way of Jesus. And it is cosmic. There is this story of the one who has laid the foundations, mixed the mortar, and set the stones. And that challenges the armies and the knives of this world. And it says, you as a people are claimed and brought in. You who stand or live at the margins. And also those of you who live in the empire. Who are part of the empire, but oftentimes are afraid to speak out. That there is a place for you, here and now. For God so loved the world that she gave her only Son. That whoever put their faith, their trust, their hope in him, in this world, should not perish but have everlasting life. Healing. That becomes a promise for us. And then we live into it faithfully, from the margins and from within, walking in the ways of this one.